Sometimes it's interesting. It's like you have to make with sex, you have to make like little adjustments. Like when I have sex with my wife, I need to like hold my body up. And sometimes I'm like too fat. I don't think I have enough core strength to keep my body in the position where I'm not like smothering her, you know? Because I have to like keep my body held up with my arms, and I feel my arms and stomach start to get tired. But I'm like, this is the only way that she'll come, you know?
It's the only way she'll survive.
Yeah, the only and survive, yeah.
Folks, we are back with another episode of the Practical Advice for Weird Little Guys Being Cool. Too long of a title podcast. And a little bit of housekeeping up front, folks. I could not sleep last night on account of my financial situation. I'm up rolling around thinking about how I'm gonna lose everything.
Now you're like a high energy guy, it seems like.
Yeah, only at the start.
Okay,
only at the start.
okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
No talking because I can't see you on camera yet, Mike. And that's who our guest is today, everybody. We're joined by an absolute legend, sort of like for real, a legend. One of the GOATs. Give it up in the studio audience, everybody, for the one and only Mike Recine. And then
It's good to be here. I'm not a high energy guy.
I tone it down after the intro.
You do? Okay.
I just try and keep people, for the algorithm.
Yeah.
So they know I'm here.
Yeah. I wish I was. I wish I could get people fired up, you know?
Yeah, that
Martin
ain't me.
Luther King style.
Like an I Have a Dream.
Yeah.
I Have a Dream. You'll subscribe to my Patreon.
But who were like the great speakers of history? Like Donald Trump, Hitler, and I can't think of anybody else.
That might be it.
That might be it.
There might not be a single other one. I guess Obama wasn't too bad at it.
Obama was probably good. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, Trump is, he's actually not
He's
a great
so good.
orator, but he's a great performer.
He's a great performer. Yeah. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
The left doesn't have any, we don't have any good stories. All our stories are like,
That's the story. Well, I was like, Trump is very, he's spiritual.
I'm poor.
That is it.
And it's someone else's fault.
Let me kill the baby.
I want my 8th abortion.
Dude, as I age, that is my new thing. I'm like, you at some point, you got to stop with the abortions.
Yeah, yeah,
You
right.
get like 4 to 5, and then I gotta go, hey, all right, have the
Doesn't
baby.
Jeffrey Asmus have a joke about that? He goes, a friend of mine, you get 5.
Yeah. That is how I feel though. Like sometimes these women are like, stop letting these guys
I
nut.
don't know how. I don't know. Yeah.
Now, speaking of nutting and things, Mike, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is you are a father.
Sure.
You are a full-grown man and a father. You have a boy?
Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah. He's 3.
Talk to me, brother. What is that like?
It's good. You know, we're trying to have a second unsuccessfully every month. My wife says, I'm ovulating. Give me your cum. So every month we have sex about 3 or 4 times. So that's cool. And then, but yeah, my kid's like the greatest. I mean, he's like charismatic. He's funny. Maybe the next Hitler. I don't know.
Charismatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in there.
It's funny. Yeah, he's very like he's a Taurus. So
Tourist or Taurus?
A Taurus. His sign, which is like I think they're outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
They're like outgoing, and I don't know. I think they're kind of evil.
Guy?
A little bit, yeah. I think it's kind of, it's something to talk to girls about.
Right, everyone's an astrology guy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, when you became a dad, what was that like? Were you like, was that a thing you ever thought you'd be?
No, but it was during COVID when my wife got pregnant, so it was just kind of like, all right, I guess we'll do that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's like, I don't know. I have no complaints about my kid. Sometimes he doesn't listen like his mother. And I don't know what to do about that.
Right.
And I try to be gentle. I try to go, we have to go up the stairs now. And I'm like, we have to go. And then he goes, I don't want to. And I say, get up the stairs. And then he gets really sad.
Right.
So I haven't been able to, I can't really get him to listen. But he's like he's a great kid. He's funny.
Yeah.
He'll grab my nipple sometimes and go, I want milk.
He doesn't think you're mommy.
Yeah, I think he's making fun of me for being fat.
Right.
Yeah, he's fat shaming me.
It's already funny. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Do you want him to get into
No,
comedy,
he's really
or that's
cool.
like that would be a huge?
I don't
mistake?
think so, but I think he might, because it's like I do it. He's been on stage a few times already.
Oh yeah.
So he kind of likes it. If he sees a comedian on TV, he goes, "That's like Benny and Daddy."
Right.
So part of me is like, I don't want you to be a comedian. I want you to, like, open a chain of chicken sandwich restaurants. I want you to be somebody.
Yeah. Do something with your life.
Do something with your life. And to me, like, I'm not like college educated, so the idea of like going to school for something, I don't understand that at all. Because I dropped out of college to like, move to the city and do open mics.
Right.
So I'm not really like an educated person.
Right.
So I'm like, being an engineer, I don't even know what the fuck that would entail.
Right. Just start a chain of chicken. That is sort of the American dream at the end.
Kind of, yeah. Start a rubbish removal company. Start a but then the other part of me is like, I bet I could like coach you to be the greatest comedian ever, because I would tell you about all my mistakes.
Yeah.
Make sure you didn't make them. And I would like show up at your house at 7 a.m. every day and be like, write 10 jokes right now.
Right.
And I'm like, if you really want this, you have to,
you gotta want it.
Drive him to the point of, where it breaks him. But then he becomes like Tiger Woods,
He's just fucking
just cheats on his wife.
Yeah.
just it's a huge story when he's caught cheating on his wife.
I mean, that sounds fucking awesome. I mean, if I was
doesn't
him,
it? Yeah.
I can't imagine a better scenario.
Yeah. But then a lot of times, like people who, whose parents are funny and then they want to be comedians, it doesn't really work. Because some people, I don't know, when your life is not. Tim Dillon said something really funny one time. There was like this kids comedy competition, and this girl won, and Tim quoted one of her jokes, and he goes, this girl sucks. He's like, the funniest kid in America is watching his parents beat the shit out of each other right now.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
Like inside a methadone clinic, like getting ready for the rest of his life, for sure.
Yeah. So I hope he has a nice enough life where he doesn't want to do comedy, or doesn't feel the need to do comedy.
Yeah.
Because who feels the need? That's like a mental illness.
Yeah, something bad happened.
I got to get up on stage.
Yeah, there's a darkness there for sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask you,
I had to spend 8 years of my life going to open mics.
To maybe spend the rest of my life going to like bigger open mics with more people, essentially.
Yeah.
It is what it really is.
Yeah, it's very mentally ill.
Did I, and again, I just have to keep going back to this dad stuff because I think I'm so fascinated by it. Did it change your life like people say it does? Or were you just kind of like, no, this is
I guess. I don't really remember life before like having a kid. Yeah. And then everybody says like the day your kid is born, it's like the greatest day of your life.
Yeah.
But I had done Conan before that. So like, I honestly, I 100% feel like doing Conan was way better than having it. Like Conan bringing you over to the couch is like, not anybody can come in a woman, But not everybody gets brought over the couch by Conan O'Brien.
That's certainly a good
It's
point.
much better. So the whole day he was born, I was like, this isn't not the best day of my life.
Right.
And then he didn't look like me when he came out. He still kind of doesn't look like me. He's starting to look like me.
Yeah.
But when he came out, I was like, that's not my kid. And I wish I wish Conan was still on the air.
He's just like a little black baby.
No. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But now he's starting to look like me. But when he came out, I was convinced that he was not mine.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, how fascinating! That's such a I think the reason I'm so curious about it is because I'm such a I'm so alone.
Yeah.
And you have a whole wife and a whole child. It's such an interesting perspective to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I definitely miss like just having some time to myself and time to watch TV and stuff like that, and like the freedom.
Yeah.
You definitely miss hanging out with your friends and staying out. And like the other night, some comics were like, "We're gonna go get food at the diner. Do you want to come?" And I was like, I have to be in bed by midnight. But my wife and kid went to the shore like a couple weekends ago, and I just had the house to myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is like really lonely. This sucks.
Right.
Yeah. I was playing "Since You've Been Gone" by Sinead O'Connor.
Just waiting for him to come home.
Waiting for him to come home.
Just
Yeah.
eating oatmeal with your dick out.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so funny. That's what I do with my roommates. My roommates leave, and I'm like, oh, I'm all alone. It's nice, but
Yeah.
you know.
You want them to come back?
Yeah, kind of. I'm like, where are my boys at? No disrespect.
I really wish my 4 roommates would come home. I miss them.
Interesting, fascinating, and
Yeah.
like we don't really know each other until today. I guess I should let the listeners know this is sort of our second or third time meeting, maybe.
Yeah.
It's I've not watched your stand up for a long time. No homo.
Thanks.
I know that's weird to
Yeah.
to tell someone, but
Yeah.
I figure I'd just give you a little compliment.
I
up front,
appreciate it. I
you know?
appreciate it. You're a funny guy as well. I saw you at the. She's just 69, huh? Nobody wants to see this shit.
No,
but anyway, yeah. But you really, I want to see your set again because it's like I see people. It's weird. There's this weird thing where I see people do well on stage, and I go, I like this guy. But then I can't remember a single joke that they tell.
It's the same thing. I just talked about pussy for about 12 minutes
right, you
and then
did
got out of
talk
there.
about
There's
pussy,
really
yeah.
nothing remarkable about it.
But I was like, oh, this is really good. You definitely did well in a way that you don't see very often.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, all I do is just sit here and yap about fucking pussy, and it's really getting old. To
Now,
me.
but why are we in this world where so many clips are going viral that are just like objectively bad stand-up?
Dude, I will literally see a clip and I'll go, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
The worst thing I've ever
and
seen.
then 2 weeks later, I'll look, it'll have 9 million views and they'll have 48,000 followers. Makes me feel crazy.
Or the clip has 9 million views and they have like 6,000 followers. So people are just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
Well, something I've been getting sad about is I've been realizing like, okay, if this is just a game of like posting as often as you can, just doesn't matter.
It is, but it isn't. I mean, you still need the quality of.
But sometimes you can just film yourself walking down the street talking into your phone every day for a year, and you will get 100,000 followers if you're willing to do that.
Yeah, I've tried doing that. I'm not like good at it.
Me either. It's
I get
embarrassing.
self-conscious. I
Same.
go, these people think I'm a fucking loser talking into my phone.
Same.
I'm like, who can do that? But then so many people are just like,
With absolutely no shame.
No
It's actually
shame, yeah.
beautiful. I have actually nothing but respect, especially for all the beautiful women doing it.
the beautiful women doing it. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, if I was a
I
beautiful
go, get your
woman-
bag, girl.
Yeah, that is how I
They
feel.
pepper spray me.
Just hit you with a knife.
But if you saw somebody like singing along to a song, you'd be like, oh, that person's enjoying their life. But if someone was like, I want to talk about Trader Joe's for a second,
yeah, it's
I
horrific.
might try to hit them with my car.
But then people comment like, "Oh my god, I also love Trader Joe's," and you just realize like, oh, the whole world is just full of like monkeys with
Yeah.
just like a brain just running on empty, just waiting to see
The
something.
world is full of monkeys. Yeah. You can't. Didn't George Carlin say like no one ever went broke underestimating the stupidity of the American public?
Yeah, it's really the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like something I struggle with the most is just like I don't respect almost anyone because I find everyone to be a complete and total fucking retard.
Yeah.
And myself included, make absolutely no mistake.
Yeah.
While we're on it, one thing I also love about you, Mike, is you're very pro Palestine. You really say whatever the fuck you want. I feel like you're very.
Yes and no. I mean, I have been intimidated a little bit by the stick to comedy guys.
Right.
And sometimes I go, yeah, maybe I want to say this. Maybe it's not funny. Am I being annoying? Am I being cringe? I don't care what the Zionists think.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're subhuman.
Amen.
But when people tell me, I don't want to be told that I'm like cringe or annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of a
You
tough
know.
line to ride between like, am I virtue signaling or am I like ego
Yeah.
steeping is what I call it.
Right,
Just like
right,
make
right.
yourself feel better.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes it feels crazy to not say anything.
Sometimes it feels crazy. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But the best thing to do is just not look at the replies or the message requests that you get when you post something.
Boy,
Yeah.
they will respond and go, "I'll fucking stab you in your sleep." you.
But they
twink.
won't do any. Yeah, they won't do anything though. But it's like I don't want to be told that I'm being unfunny.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I don't know. I guess you do your best to make it funny or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to. I mean, you don't owe these fucking people anything.
Yeah, that's the damn.
They're just
truth.
consuming all your content for free.
Yeah.
They're pigs.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
and
feed 'em
we
slop.
don't. Yeah, you don't need to. Well, you can feed them a vegetable every once in a while.
Right.
You're allowed to give them a carrot. I think that's what's jarring to them is that they don't expect to be. They think that their phone is supposed to be something that entertains them and not
Right, and not be confronted with the reality.
not be
of their
confronted with
beliefs.
reality. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's a truly sick and twisted world. It's
Yeah.
as there's a story about Jeff. One time he was on stage and this magician was
About
up
Jeff?
there. Jeff Asmus. We were talking
yeah.
about him earlier.
Yeah.
And he was this magician came off stage and he just absolutely just destroyed for like 20 minutes for these like fat idiots in Minnesota. And Jeff's about to go on. And he just shakes his hand. He goes,
Wait. Why do they make Jeff follow a magician? Should the magician be the headline?
This is very early. This is before Jeff was whatever he is.
No.
now.
But shouldn't the magician headline? Is what I'm saying.
No, I think he was featuring. That's the crazy thing.
The magician was featuring.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Or he
And
was
Jeff
hosting or something like that. Yeah.
Oh
This
wow.
comedy in the Midwest, they just let it fly.
That's so funny because sometimes like when I'll headline, the feature will be like, "Hey, is there anything you don't want me to talk about?" Or like, "Can I sell merch?" Like they ask me like I'm like an authority, and I go like, "I would never tell you how to do your act or not to sell merch. I would never do that." But like being like, "Hey, no magic,"
Yeah,
would be
that
pretty
would be
cool.
the one big
It'd be
rule.
like the power move that I would use.
But that's
If
what
you
said
do
he came
magic, if you do a single fucking magic trick, I'll have you fired from the
up-
weekend.
Yeah, literally, that is where I would draw the line.
Yeah.
Some of these magicians get mad pussy. It's fucking wild.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's
But I don't know. But are you like I'm above magic kind of guy?
yeah.
Okay.
I find it insulting.
You do?
Yeah.
You find it insulting? Okay. I haven't seen a magician in a long time.
I just can't believe you're like a guy who's like trying to trick me. It's like rude. A guy being like.
But if the trick is impressive, you don't.
No, I'm not impressed by it at all. Unless you're like sawing someone in half or something like that shit's cool. But like
Sawing, first of all, wait a minute. Sawing someone in half, that's the most basic. I figured out how they did that trick when I was like 5 years
I'm
old.
like, unless they pull a rabbit
unless
out of
they
that.
unless he says got your nose, pulls my nose off my face. Now that's a good magic trick.
That's actually a great point. What am I talking about?
Sawing a woman in half, I feel like I figured that out
I'm watching like
Well,
he sawed
as a child. What? Where's the blood?
He fucking cut this bitch in half.
And then he put her back together.
I'm losing my mind. I'm like, now that's magic right there.
Unless it's an awesome trick like sawing a woman in half.
So, what did you do before you did stand up, Mike? Because another thing we preach on this pod all the time is perseverance and maintaining pursuit of your dreams, etc. What were you doing before you were doing all this stand up?
So I moved to New York City in 2007 when I was 20.
From?
From Jersey.
Okay.
So, but I just like, moved myself in, went out looking for a job like the next day, got a job at Caroline's as the doorman. Worked at Caroline's for like 3 months before I gave my notice. Then I had like a couple restaurant jobs. We were talking about sales earlier. I had this one job where it was like literal door to door, like going to restaurants and being like, "Can I speak to the owner, please?" to sign them up for this website.
Of course.
Where I didn't get a single customer. And then in 2009, I worked at the Ruby Tuesday in Times Square for a little bit.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's brutal.
And then in 2009, I found out about being a mover. And that probably saved my life.
You were like, wait, they'll let me pack shit up and carry it.
Yeah. Wait, we just did what? You just paid how much money to? Because people don't want to deal with that stuff at all.
Right.
So I learned how to do that. I worked for a few different companies. Something happened, I think I worked for a moving company, but I was always like in and out of it. I never did it consistently because it's so like hard on your body.
Yeah.
So then in 2012, I got a job working at this store in Williamsburg as the receiver. And that was the closest thing I ever had to like an office job. I had like my own desk and I would receive all the merchandise and like enter it into the computer and like stock the shelves. And that was maybe one of my favorite jobs, but I would like listen to Opie and Anthony at my desk. I would play like Patrice O'Neill at this like store that was owned by this like woman and her husband.
They're just yelling.
Yeah. And so they let me go from there. And then I worked
Wait, they fired you for that?
It wasn't for that. She just said like the position's not working out. But I think it was probably a little bit with my character.
Right.
Because I was going through a big like misogyny phase at that time. I was like big. I was big into I was big into misogyny.
Let me tell you, let's be perfectly honest. Every guy's had a little misogyny.
Every guy's had a little misogyny face. I had like a very extended, very public one, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Okay, so then after that I worked at 1-800 Got Junk, and then since then it's just been in and out, like moving work, like comedy work. I haven't had like an actual job that I had to show up at in like over 10 years. So it's always just like, just finding stuff, whether it's comedy work or moving or junk removal or whatever it is. And it's, I don't know, I can't complain.
Yeah.
When I look back, it's like there's worse ways to spend your life.
No, certainly, absolutely.
You know?
And I feel like things are finally coming together comedically.
Yeah, well, now I'm just like, I'm like, I can't do this anymore because it's like my body's too old.
Right.
Even though there's guys older than me that do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I have to like, it just takes up so much of your time and your energy to move people's furniture. And as much as I'm good at it, I think I have to like put it behind me.
Do you think you kind of feel like you have your back against the wall and you're like, I got to do something?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And it's like, it's a little, it's a lot of pressure, but I've never really,
a man, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really given myself a chance to like make it in that way. Yeah. I've never like taken the safety net away. So now I'm doing a moving job on Saturday for a friend. And maybe another one on Sunday. But I'm selective with the jobs that I take and everything. And I don't advertise it, and So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I got to go back to this
my misogyny phase.
Yeah, because I've also had a misogyny phase. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus at all. You know, I think this is something that's very common for a lot of weird little guys watching right
weird
now.
Little guys, yeah.
Where do you think...
Well, you're not little. What are you, like 5'9"?
I'm 5'11".
You're 5'11"? Okay. I'm 5'8".
Nice.
So no one to me is taller than 5'9".
Right. Everybody's little at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, you know. Where do you think that comes from? You think, I think mine came from just like not getting any pussy for a long time, obviously, if you can believe it. Where do you think yours came from?
Well, I was like kind of young, kind of stupid. I was dating somebody who was 7 years older than me. So, and she like was more, I guess you could say she was more established, kind of. I mean, she came from the production side of comedy and like, but then wanted to do comedy. But she was more established with like her career and stuff. She made money. So we got this like nice apartment on the park in Greenpoint, like this beautiful apartment overlooking the park. And she was like, yeah, I'll pay most of the rent. You can give me like $600 a month if you're comfortable with that. I just want to like live, you know. And so we would fight a lot.
Well,
yeah, we would fight a lot. I was like really I guess a little like I was like a little paranoid, you know. So
paranoid because you felt like you were like she doesn't respect me.
I was paranoid about like I guess like her past and like her, you know. I would ask her about her. I would like ask about. You should never ask a woman's body count. I'll never do that again.
The first guy ever.
I'll never.
That could have been your big shot years ago if you just started.
It could have been my big shot years ago. Yeah, but I feel bad because it's like I see these guys now and I'm like I've been there, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And really, it doesn't. The bar is so low for guys. But I think it was just like going through a breakup and like the relationship not working out and being really kind of like busted up about it and upset. But then like something clicked where I was like, oh, right. Like men are better than women. Oh, like women act the way they do because they can't control it because they're like retarded. And then when you believe that, then everything else kind of starts to make sense. And it helps. It makes you see the world better. You know what I mean?
It does lift the fog a bit for sure.
Yeah. It's a better way to look at the world because you're like, oh, women can't help the way they act. They're just like animals.
Yeah.
And we have to be the ones that are like in control and blah, 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 blah,
Women
blah,
are
whatever.
retarded and men are pigs.
Yeah, I forget exactly what it was that like clicked, but it was a lot of like just being heartbroken and then listening to Patrice O'Neill. Because
every guy's done that before. Every guy's done Patrice O'Neill YouTube video.
Really? Yeah. So it's nothing like unique or anything, but then just kind of being like, but then that kind of like makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure every toxic ideology probably makes sense to people when you're dumb and when you're like frustrated.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like, and I still think that's like maybe the happiest I've ever been when I was really into misogyny. Because because I think it's a more like simplistic view of the world and everything. And then it was a couple years of sort of like kind of unlearning that, you know. And now I'll listen to that stuff, and sometimes I listen to some of it and I go like, this ain't it.
Yeah, it is fucked up in retrospect. But when you're like going through heartbreak and you don't really, you can't like make sense of your emotions, especially as a man, and you hear some dude being like, "These bitches don't care about your ass." You're like, you know what? These bitches don't care about my, you know.
But it's not just that, but it's also like, because a lot of these guys, they do talk about like accountability and so like that is that feels good when you go like, oh yeah, that was my fault. That was my fault, and it's not her fault that she's retarded. Like you go like everything is on me because it's not the girl's fault that she's retarded,
right?
And I should have been better. I should have understood that bitches are just the way they are.
It's just a fact of life.
It's just a fact of life that they operate in they can't help themselves.
Can I ask?
And they need men to guide them. That's a lot of what it is. They need men, and I guess there is like some truth to that,
right?
Like
pro masculinity shit. I'm certainly behind. Make no mistake.
Like making decisions, I think, is important, and just like committing to stuff, and you know, women definitely don't like when you're. So there is you shouldn't abandon all of the misogyny that you have,
right?
But I think that like it is still good to like make decisions and kind of take the reins in certain areas.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a fucking man. Like, I refuse to be one of these guys who's
like,
I don't want to be disrespectful. No. It's like, no, bro, you can be a man still at the end of the day.
Well, that's a huge red flag when they act like children, or when they.
Those are the guys raping.
Those are the guys raping.
Those are the if you will, you know what I mean. We'll bleep his name. Don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah, you know what
I just don't want any smoke. You know.
No, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna.
I have some enemies too.
Yeah. Put them on there. I'll bleep.
All right, I will. Like, but yeah. So I think that like, it's if you're a single guy, it's definitely good to like plan a date. You know, be like, we should go here, or let's
take
go
the
to
reins.
This bar, take the reins. They like that.
Yeah.
What else do they like? When you make money, they like that, I've heard.
Yeah, I have no idea, but the word on the street is. Let me tell you, women just simply, the second they find out my financial situation, they just quit respecting me immediately.
Really? But I've never really had that. I've never had a girl be like, you don't make enough money.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's really overrated, at least the women that I've always.
Well, you know, I always end up going out with like wealthy women and shit who like come from like rich families and shit for whatever fucking reason, and they lay into me, make absolutely no.
They lay into you?
Yeah, they're kind of like, figure it the fuck out, bro.
Really?
But it's like,
are you like broke?
I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm like turkey sandwich net worth broke.
Oh, okay.
You know, this place has cost me a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay.
But even then, you know, it's like that's also a fair criticism in my eyes. I'm like, I get it. You know, I do have to fucking pay rent and shit. You know.
Yeah, I mean, people like know what they. I don't know. It's good to know what you want. Mm-hmm. You know.
Now, do you think
what's that song that blew up? Like, I'm looking for a guy in finance.
Yeah, Blue Eyes Trust Fund.
Yeah.
Shit is fire, actually.
Okay, you whore. Oh, okay. So you're a fucking. Wow, it's coming back.
It will sneak back on you. You start seeing some of these TikTok trends. You're like, these bitches.
But you could take a girl out for like $20 or $30. Can you? Like, I don't know if you get coffee or something.
No, it's not even like affording the day. It's like when they get to know me and they're like, hey, do you want to go to Portugal? And I'm like, I can't even leave Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, and then they start to go, oh, I think this guy's a But I've made a lot of mistakes in my life.
But girls like when you're like an artist. Don't they like creatives?
I think we grew up at different times.
Yeah.
They look at me like, get a
They're
job.
more money oriented.
Yeah. Not even money. They're just more like, this whole thing can't possibly work out. I'd like it if you got like a gig.
What about ambition though? Don't they like ambition?
I suppose so, but
yeah,
you know, everyone's got ambition. It's not all of everyone's ambitions work out. I guess that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But I'm also.
But sometimes you're just not the right person for somebody.
Right.
I don't know. I'd never had a problem like being broke and having sex with women.
God, I told you guys, he's a fucking legend. That's absolutely God.
Yeah, I never had a problem with that. I don't know I think being funny goes a long way.
Yeah, I definitely
also moving like pays well enough that you can do stuff. Not go to Portugal, but you can like spend $60 at a bar.
Yeah, I can do that for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to get into moving. Interesting. Well,
Even though sometimes when that check comes and it's like $100, you go, oh boy.
yeah, then I start panicking, and I'm
You're like, that's a pair of pants.
yeah, literally. Well, speaking of all this, let's get into our first listener question, because the first guy who wrote in here, I think, is feeling a certain type of way.
Okay.
Mike, thank you again. Another incredible interview portion. You're such a fucking interesting guy. I could really talk to you for hours, low key. But we're not the Joe Rogan Experience, and we get right into it, people. This guy says,
what would you talk about if you went on Joe Rogan? I don't even know.
I have no idea. Pussy.
Yeah. I've never heard him talk about pussy.
He doesn't talk about pussy.
He doesn't talk about
The
pussy.
guy's gay.
Why don't you get some pussy, you you gay guy? You
I've
gay
never
man.
heard him talk about
No, hey, Joe Rogan, what's going on here? We've never heard you talk about pussy once.
He talks about gorillas.
It's so
He
funny.
was the first fleshlight guy ever.
He talks about gorillas, yeah. Oh, dude, I did a bit on being Ian last night, and it's on Patreon, so people won't see it. But I pretended the fleshlight was my wife, and I said, "You didn't empty the dishwasher." I said, "Why'd you change the passcode on your phone?"
With the mouth.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. Don't forget we have that event on Wednesday night. I told you 4 times.
Have you ever fucked a fleshlight?
No, maybe once, like as a novelty thing, but I'm not like that kind of.
I'm too afraid that would change me forever.
Yeah.
That would really permanently.
Yeah, I'm not really like that. I'm not like a sex weirdo, I guess. I don't really.
Yeah.
I just jerk off to like Instagram stories and fuck my wife.
Bro, exchange wife for a random chick from Hinge, and we're the same.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I haven't watched porn.
I'm not
in
like a
weeks.
porn. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just beating off the Instagram too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. Sorry.
And then OnlyFans, literally, the guy signs bombs that they drop on Israel. The CEO. Yeah, he sends money to Israel, like specifically for genocide.
Oh my god! I mean, there's just no winning in this world. I can't.
There's
see
no
tits without
winning in this world. The evil has consolidated so much power.
Yeah, you can't even
that,
look at titties online anymore without.
I don't even
supporting
know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty deep into the OnlyFans shit for a while there, where I was just, that Instagram
And-
to
and
OnlyFans pipeline. I mean, I'll have my dick in my hand on the internet, and all of a sudden I'm down $7.99. You know?
Yeah. I'll tell you what I was just thinking about. I zoned out for a second.
Sorry.
The world is getting so bad that, like, if you know about the world and you have a kid, you go like, my kid's gonna be murdered. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, my kid's gonna be drafted into a war or something, and I try to like tell my wife about it, and she like doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I don't think you
doesn't.
understand. Like, we need guns. We need lots of canned food. Like, I read the New York Times, okay, so I know what's going on.
Right.
And I'm like, it could get really bad,
Right.
and we need to be ready. I'm ready for my family to be blown up, and it does weigh on my mind a little bit.
Well, they do say prepping is up like 60% in the past.
60%.
Something like that in the past.
We need
10
to get
years.
in on that.
Yeah.
We need to sell kits. We
It's
need
like
to sell
literally
prepper
like a
kits.
quarter of the American population has like a prepping plan or some shit like that.
Oh,
It's
really?
like, no lie. I just watched a little mini doc about it.
For like
the other day.
doomsday or something.
Yeah, not even doomsday, just like climate change shit where like
Sure.
people move into their area and they have to escape or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
climate change is like we might drown, you know?
Yeah.
Me and my family might drown, or there's going to be a fucking regional war. There's going to be a World War III
Yeah.
because Israel can't stop blowing up kids.
Literally.
And then Iran's going to get involved, and then China, and then
I mean,
my
we were
kid's going to
2
be fucking.
millimeters from a civil war. Donnie getting his head blown off.
You
know?
think?
I think we would have, maybe not a civil war, but there would have been some serious, it would have changed everything, obviously. I mean, not to be a scientist.
Yeah. I just think when you look at January 6th, you're like, those guys didn't know what to do when they got there.
True.
They're not like, they were like all shocked that they got in the building.
Yeah.
And so like they don't, it's all, I think that it's a bit of a paper tiger, that whole group of people.
Right.
Not that the left knows how to fight or anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't
Not
think
that we're
any
ready.
Side,
Yeah.
I guess just seeing someone get killed has like sparked so many wars before. I see how it could
Yeah.
happen again.
But what would that look like if there was, maybe.
Like then they,
I don't want to think about it.
yeah, I don't either. It
Yeah.
fucking makes me nervous because that literally could happen and almost did.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But see, I don't think that, like, I think people are too comfortable where they're not going to take their guns out of there. They're not going to like leave the suburbs and go fight. Because they have an above ground pool, and they have Netflix, and they have a sound bar.
But I think there would be
You
some
know.
shit where like maybe a guy goes and shoots his liberal neighbor in the head because Donald Trump got his head blown off, and he goes, "I'm gonna have to take revenge."
Maybe.
And then
Maybe.
those kind of sparks like maybe spark another.
That's
thing
why you just
where-
got to be nice to everybody.
Yeah, that's
you
why you
know?
just got to catch a vibe and be chill.
Yeah.
That's sort of my life motto: is just catch a vibe, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking relax.
Everybody relax and just let's all. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
just look at Instagram stories. Fucking sit on our phones.
Yeah.
Yap at each other. No need to do all this crazy shit.
I mean, everybody says that. Oh, it's like, so, but nobody is ready for. Americans are just not ready for a fight like that. There's nothing to fight for. I mean, there's nothing to like. We just have so many comforts. We have snacks. We have HBO Max.
Yeah. 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 It's like at the end of the day, like it's not worth killing your neighbor over to miss an episode of Sopranos or whatever the fuck is on TV.
No. Yeah, I'm doing my third rewatch.
Yeah. It's like you gotta fucking catch them.
No, it's here. It's right here.
Yeah, you got to do a podcast. I can't be engaged in civil war. I have to do an episode of my fucking podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the first question here. This guy wrote in, and I think he's going through it. He goes, "I've been with my wife for over 20 years. It turned out I was not aware of her true needs, and her needs included being rammed by other people.
Oh boy.
So I filed for divorce and fight for the kids. I am slowly starting to think about dating and looking for something permanent. It's 2024, and this is the first time I've created a Tinder profile. What I see there is horrifying. My question is, are all women either taken or crazy or both? Love the pod. Signed, Jacob."
That's really scary because it's like you have this wife and you build a life with them and you're like, yeah, what if she secretly has these, you know? What if I hope she would tell me, yeah, if she was like, I need to go to the Department of Sanitation. I need to fuck 3 garbage men at the same time. I hope she would tell me that instead of doing it behind my back and having me find out. You know what I mean? Nothing worse.
You're like all 3 at the same time.
Yeah. She gets really into like live poultry. She's like buying chickens and then you find out all the guys that work there are running a train on her, and you just want to be like, honey, if that was a need that you had, I wish we could have like talked about it.
Like, I could grow chickens.
Why do you just sneak around and disrespect me?
I actually am sort of the opposite take. I totally expect my girlfriend or wife to cheat.
And he
on
said
me.
other guys, like plural, like guys plural.
I think she's been getting.
You expect her to cheat on you? I mean,
for our
I
whole
don't think.
lives.
Yeah. No, that's dude. We just had a conversation about that on my wife's birthday, and I was like, I love you, and theoretically, we're gonna be together for like decades. Like we've been together, we're gonna be together for like 4 more decades.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I was like, if you met somebody, if you like developed a crush on somebody, I don't think that's unrealistic to think that would happen.
Right.
And so I'm not. And she was like, no, I don't think so. So if I find out she's going to the live poultry market to get a fucking train run on her, I'm going to be really upset because you know what I mean?
You told me you wouldn't.
Yeah. You specifically told me you wouldn't do this.
I think I've had so much like weird sexual dysfunction in my life that I'm just kind of assumedly ready for a woman in my life to find someone new after a long time.
Right.
I have a pessimistic.
But isn't that human nature to like get bored and like, I don't know, you meet somebody. There's got to be other people out there that maybe she meets and she goes, oh, this guy's not like an autistic psychopath like my husband.
Yeah. Well, what I would say to this guy is at the end of the day, bro, yeah, I guess your wife cheated on you and that is terrible. And now you got to find a new woman to meet and everything. But you're not going to find one you like till you change that mindset about are all women either crazy or taken or both or blah, blah, blah. Right. Like you're just going to carry that into all these dates and they're going to be able to feel it on you that you're like some weird creep.
Yeah.
Not that
you're going to go to the
creepy.
date talking about your ex.
Yeah. I mean, literally. And they're going to be like, what's wrong with this fucking guy?
Yeah. I know you got to open your heart up to getting hurt again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, the pain of having your girl get rammed by another dude while you're with her does not leave you.
Doesn't leave you?
In my experience. Not that Mike would know, but I certainly would. And I still think about it to this day. Couldn't sleep last night. If you catch my drift, Jacob. But I would say maybe hang in there, man. And
isn't that a weird thing? That's like we all we enter these relationships with like the idea that could, you know, I don't know.
I'm a huge romantic.
Could
I like
happen.
every girlfriend I've ever had. I'm like, yeah, I'll be with this woman for the rest of my life.
Really?
I rarely but I like really invest myself into things that I shouldn't.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't give myself time to like delay my vulnerability or whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
I just like wholeheartedly dive in.
Nice.
But yeah, man, hang in there, bro. And I'm sorry your wife fucked all those guys. I bet you know, you'll get some pussy soon, and you know, she'll probably be smoking.
And she'll
meth or
probably
something.
suffer. Yeah.
She'll suffer, certainly. She'll have her day, brother.
But I don't know. He's said it's horrifying, but I don't know. It's never been so easy to meet somebody.
Yeah,
So
I think you're in the perfect spot. Most dudes back in the day, you get divorced and you'd have to like go to like a fucking bingo night and like try and fuck the
You have
chick
to go
picking
to
the
a
balls
bingo
out of the
night.
thing.
Yeah.
You know?
you have
So
to hang out at Applebee's by yourself.
yeah, and like get
Hope
shithouse and
somebody
dollar margaritas and fuck the bartender. It's like now you can just get on your phone, bro.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Um,
This guy sounds a little older, maybe.
seems like it.
Yeah.
He been married 20 years.
It's
so-
funny that there's like a 60-year-old man listening to your podcast.
Yeah, it kind of blew my dick off, honestly. I was like, hopefully it's not just like some fake. Sometimes I get gay guys writing in with fake stories.
Oh, okay.
Here's another great one. I want to answer this one for this woman. She says, "Hey Tucker, big fan of the pod. Woman writing in. You're welcome.
Nice.
A shout out to you, Queen. We love you." She says,
We love our female listeners.
We love the female list. I always ask every week. I say, please write in, babe.
Yeah.
She says, keeping things anonymous for obvious reasons, but I've been dating my boyfriend for 7 months now. I really love him. We get along great, rarely argue, etc. Here's the kicker, though. He has a huge dick, like too big. Every time we fuck, it hurts. It's honestly at a point where it's causing problems in our relationship that I don't know how to solve. Has this ever happened to you, LOL? What should I do? I don't want to break up with him because things are so great, but I also don't have any solutions. Thanks. First off, no, it hasn't happened to me, babe, and I don't appreciate the question.
I'll take this one.
Go ahead, Mike, the big dick himself.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it's like you got to ask him to make some adjustments.
Yeah, I don't really know what to tell you there, babe.
Yeah.
I think you need a wider pussy.
A deeper. Yeah. Can you get surgery to deepen your pussy?
Yeah, can we figure that shit out? It certainly isn't his fault.
Yeah. Isn't that so crazy? You meet somebody who's like perfect and then his dick is too big.
Yeah. God is both the devil and the Lord all at once.
Yeah.
Know?
But I would say, I mean, you have to bring it up. I mean, I'm sure he'll be flattered.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll figure something out. I don't know.
Can I also say, I think my first thought reading that was, you've been with this guy 7 months and his dick is so big it hurts when you fuck and he hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
That seems a little, I think that's sort of I don't mean to like throw this guy under the bus, but like, how is he fucking you and not?
He's a little insensitive. Well, he has
Yeah.
Down syndrome.
She left that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
We
okay.
get along great.
He's really strong. He opens all my jars. He opens jars around the house by smashing them open.
We watch Trains together.
Thomas the Train. We're binging Bluey right now together.
Yeah, I got a feeling there's more to the story here.
Yeah.
I wish you would, to be honest, what I really wish you would have included was the length of his cock there, with all due respect.
Right,
because, then we could really kind of know what you're dealing with.
Sometimes it's interesting. It's like you have to make with sex, you have to make like little adjustments. Like when I have sex with my wife, I need to hold my body up. And sometimes I'm like too fat. I don't think I have enough core strength to keep my body in the position where I'm not like smothering her, you know? Because I have to like keep my body held up with my arms, and I feel my arms and stomach start to get tired. But I'm like, this is the only way that she'll come, you know?
It's the only way she'll survive.
Yeah, the only and survive. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's I don't always get to, but I think it's fine to you got to make some adjustments or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to tell you, babe. I think if it's so big it hurts, you might be doomed. I would communicate with this guy, but make sure this guy knows he's hurting you while he fucks you. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing an amazing job faking it, which in that case, hey, maybe do it for the rest of your life.
But then if you break up with him, he gets to have that story that, the love of his life left him because his dick was too big.
Oh, Christ.
Maybe you can get penis enlargement surgery. Can you get penis shortening surgery? Can you fly to Turkey and get 2 inches taken off your dick?
Doc, I love her. You gotta trim the shaft. Ooh, that is horrific to think about. They'd have to cut you down the middle there, and ooh, yikes!
I don't even know how they would do that.
Crazy.
Yeah, maybe they could sand it down.
Just give it a little.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have a perfectly average cock, not big, not small. It's like
me
literally
too.
about
Yeah,
6 inches. So
yeah,
I pretty much am good in that department. I've never experienced this issue before.
and I feel like mine used to be bigger.
Damn, bro.
I used to get more compliments on it.
Damn, I feel the same way, bro. I feel like my hang was way heavier.
Yeah.
My hang isn't hanging. Like
Yeah.
I've been feeling pretty limp recently.
A friend of mine sent me like a prank article that you click on, and it was just like a black guy with his penis out, and I was like, there's no way they're that big. I'm like, they should be locked up if they're that big.
The hell with criminal justice reform if you're walking around with that. You got a weapon on you at all times.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this guy's black too. Congrats.
Oh.
Nice.
Hmm.
I don't know, babe. Good luck with that. That seems tough.
Yeah, good luck. It's because it's not even like there's another. You can't do the other holes because it's gonna be.
Yeah, that ain't gonna help either. Yeah, you're in an interesting position there, literally, and I'm guessing. Yeah, I shouldn't even. You don't like that it hurts. She probably doesn't like that it hurts. Right.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to find a woman who's with a big, deep, gaping, wide pussy, and
because I deadlifted yesterday. I did some dumb deadlifts with dumbbells, and I woke up this morning a little sore, and I was like, nice. I'm guessing it's not that type of sore.
Right. Like you're experiencing growth or whatever in your muscles. Yeah, that's tough, babe. Good luck. Write in and let us know what happens there, because I'm actually curious. I've actually had that happen to a few of my buddies with big giant cocks, and they do struggle to meet women because they can't put the whole thing in there, and it becomes a big issue.
Wow.
Sex is weird, and it's crazy that you have to go through that. So,
is there like a support group for that?
Probably. Guys with big giant dicks. I certainly shouldn't be in it.
Yeah. I've never wanted a bigger dick though.
Me either. I'm very happy with my cock.
Yeah.
My cock doesn't really get hard very often.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, I think
not very often, but I just wish. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm lying in bed, I'll flop my dick and balls out and hope I can get when you get an erection before you fell asleep as a kid.
It's like you just want to happen freely without any. That's kind of
that's what I would love. Yeah, just like a little woody.
Yeah, I miss the days.
I miss just getting a little woody.
I still to this day sometimes I get a little nervous. Sometimes I'm about to fuck and my dick just shrivels up.
Oh really?
Oh, no.
I've been there, but that hasn't happened in a while.
Me either, but every now and then.
Yeah, every now and then.
Really hot. I'm like, holy shit! I'm about to.
Yeah.
Not so fast. All right, let's get another one here. We got about 10 minutes left. I want to do a couple more. This woman says, another woman. Shout out to you. Hey Tuck. Love the pod. What are some things I can do to be better at sex as a woman?
Sorry.
I hope they picked that up. That's hilarious. She says, I feel like you always are giving the guys advice, but we girlies need some help too! ! Sign J. Okay. Man, interesting. I've actually never even thought of giving you guys advice because you make me so.
Yeah, you're perfect the way you are.
Yeah. Literally, I mean, even if you move, just lay there and don't do anything, I simply don't care.
Yeah.
I don't really believe that women should be good at sex outside of being decent at a blowjob.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm big on just that's my job.
Yeah. I think sending nudes is fun.
Right. Certainly.
If you could if you could, it's kind of embarrassing. No, if you text messages and stuff, just put it into Chat GPT. Be like, what do guys want to hear? And just you text that.
It's pretty easy as a woman. I feel literally just cradle the balls a little. All this Hawk 2-ish shit. You don't even have to do that.
Yeah, you can.
That's honestly nice, but
that is kind of cool.
That is cool. If you did that, that would be sick. But even if you just like it just you don't really have to do much. And any man who's like asking for too much from you, it's kind of like he's lucky to be
I
there.
guess you don't have to do. Yeah, you don't have to do too much. Maybe you could be. If you're into yelling, you could yell. You know,
Certainly.
you could say stuff. Yeah,
You like it when
I know it's probably it's like embarrassing.
You like when a woman screams at you like that?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I kind of do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when they kind of like throw shit at me.
Yeah. But you're right. You don't have to do much.
Yeah, it's like for a woman, it's like honestly, I just find
Exercise.
You so keep it trim, fatty.
Take Ozempic.
No, I mean literally, that's you're good, babe. If you're showing up, certainly like bad
Showing
sex is
up,
almost
but-
always a communication issue, less of a performance issue.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I guess I like a little dirty talk if it's not weird.
that's true as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I don't mind a little. I like a little filthiness. I like to feel like we
In the
should-
middle of the day, you know?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Make you feel like I can't believe we're living and acting like this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, here's the thing: when you get on top, some of you don't really do much.
Okay.
Some of you just kind of sit there and
Okay.
just kind of rock back and forth. You do have to have a little gumption up there, but even then, I'm not big on having women on top. I'm sort of gay in that way.
Yeah. I don't even think I like sex.
I've been feeling the same way recently. Trying to give advice. I'm like, I don't know, dude, can we stop doing this? It's honestly kind
It's
of
too much.
gross, dude. I'm like trying to be all cool about it and like got my dick out. I just feel like such a weird freak sometimes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I hope that helped, babe. I don't know what to tell you. Probably not. That wasn't a good answer, but I feel weird telling a woman how to be better at sex. I am a fucking.
It does
grown
feel a little
man.
weird,
It
yeah.
feels psychotic, and I kind of refuse to
Feels
do it.
psychotic.
My mom will watch this at some point, and I don't want to.
She will.
She does
That's
watch
funny.
these and go, I heard that thing you said about eating pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mike, I think that was the episode, brother. I think.
Okay. It was fun.
I had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
That
we
was
could
hilarious.
do 2 more hours of not talking about pussy.
God forbid. No, I think we've done.
Isn't that
plenty.
so funny? We get banned from the mothership because we said Joe Rogan never talks about.
I'll bleep that. I'll bleep all the other shit I said.
Why
about
you ain't talking about pussy, bro? No, I would don't bleep that. You should have a sense of humor about.
No, I'm kidding. I won't bleep Joe, but I will bleep all the other stuff because
Imagine like Jordan Peterson is like, now why don't we ever talk about pussy on the show?
I would love to have him on. I can't imagine where he's putting that fucking dick of his. I bet
Yeah.
he's up to some absolutely no good.
Mm.
Mike, go ahead and plug all your shit. We'll put all your website, your handles, everything in the middle here.
Cool.
Your
When is
dates.
this out?
Probably next Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, maybe Monday.
Okay, so Wednesday, July 31st, I'll be at this the San Jose Improv in San Jose, California, and then right after that, I'm doing Lincoln Lodge in Chicago.
Oh, we got a
on
lot of Chicago listeners. Go to that show.
June 1st. Yeah, I'm sorry, August 1st. It's really hard to plug dates.
I got totally.
And then I'll be in Rochester on August 2nd. And then I have a special on YouTube. It's called Mike Recine, I'm Normal. And I have a podcast every week called Out for Smokes, which is a lot of fun with 2
All right.
very funny guys.
At Mike Recine Comedy, right?
Yeah.
Right here as well. Guys, go check Mike out. He's absolutely fucking hilarious. One of the GOATs, one of the legends. Mike, thanks so much again for coming on. And you guys know the deal. Shout out to all the theys, thems, queers, blacks, Arabs, everyone but the Zionists. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you